Right. Welcome back to welcome back to the Natural Physique podcast, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. As always, we've got Matt just arriving there, as Noah politely announced. And yeah, we're going to cover the PC Ireland show, have a bit of a gab in general. Matt's ready to whack into some poses as well with his big black backdrop in the background.
It just stays there all the time now, mate, because they can't be
Yeah,
arsed holding it up.
efficiency.
I've got mine downstairs at the minute, but I'm getting photos of my house taken soon, so I need to move it back upstairs. But that is the biggest ball ache ever, moving it up and downstairs. So I've just been keeping it downstairs.
I think it's just impossible to actually put it back into its
Oh, no chance.
I looked up a video.
Yeah,
you
you've
have
got to
turn it into
flip
a
it like
taco.
this and then pull it out. Mate, it just bounces back out.
You put it in your
Yeah,
put it in
mate.
your midsection, let it droop down, turn it into a taco, and then use gravity to fold it.
I just
can't
need
do
to
that.
grab it like that and just carry it, and it's massive still.
Yeah, I tried it a few times and it fucking uppercutted me. And I was like, Dad, you need to do this. And both of us stood there for 20 minutes trying to get it, and he eventually got it. I was like, I'm never fucking doing that again.
just
Just
leave
need to
it.
get a big black circle painted on my wall or something instead.
Yeah.
More efficient.
Right, PCA Naturals Ireland. Noah,
Yes.
Matt, you were both there. Do you wanna give us a rundown? Obviously, first of all, congrats to Noah and
Cathal, yeah.
Cathal, I believe.
Indeed,
Say it.
it was one of the best show weekends I've had. To be fair, it was just so low stress. Everyone was having such a good time. Me and Cathal flew over on, was it Friday? Yeah, we flew over on Friday. Landed in Belfast, and then we went to the dock, got a wee session in, or we went to Matt's first and chilled. But then we went to the dock, and tried to use that as like a pump up, mock pump, just a last session trying to get a bit of blood around Cathal after we'd been kind of loading food over the last few days. And it was really good. We got a good idea of kind of how long it takes Cathal to pump up and what we need a little bit more of whenever we are going into the movements. But the gym dock was great. We had some posing at the end. We did post those photos if you want to go down. I think Cathal accepted it. Yeah, there you go. The three boys there. So some really good shots. He was coming to life each day of the week going on. And then we went up to Londonderry, and we had a place up there. Settled down, lovely place. The weather was unreal.
Mate, that
Yeah.
drive up was so enjoyable.
It looked like you all had a sick weekend. Shay messaged me. Sorry to jump in. Shay messaged me and he was like, just wanted to say how amazing it is, the friendship group that you've built through Natural Physique. He was like, it's fucking incredible, and I was like, it is cool, isn't it? It's so nice to be able to you boys just have a sick weekend together, all kind of
Yeah.
just from
Yeah, I mean, it was unreal. I mean, Finn, you were there obviously when we drove up to the show last year. I think you were lying down at one point though, but the big straight
yeah.
road. It
I went
was
to sleep,
beaming weather. I don't know what it was like here, but the weather was scorching. So we were sat sunbathing for a bit. Shay came over, and we were sitting listening to wrestling tunes and everything like that. It was just great vibes. Shay even brought a Derry City football team scarf for Cathal to take home to remember his time up there. And Cathal took the cream of rice as well. Oh,
Shay's
I
good with stuff like
could
that.
not believe it.
Shay's really
Yeah.
thoughtful.
So yeah, we've trained at Extreme Gym Derry, which was sick. It was like a bit of an old school gym feel, but there were some newer kits as well. So I know me and Matt quite like that kind of old school dingy vibe. So it was a fucking great gym. There was a few people in there that were doing in-person check-ins that were at that show as well that we saw, but we didn't know if they were going to be first timers on the early show, sorry, or there'd be the naturals later on that day because they both had the same on the same day. So then Sunday came round. Cathal was looking good. We got him tanned the day before, and then headed in for the show, which was good fun. It was a long day, but
It was
Yeah.
early start, wasn't it? It was he had to be
Yeah.
there 6 o'clock in the morning.
What was the situation with the show before and the show after? Because when I was looking at all the Instagram stories, I was like, why has there been an overall and I've not seen
Yeah.
Cathal be on yet? I didn't understand at that point. What was the
First timers.
situation?
Yeah,
That's
first
natural.
timers was like 9 till.
So that was
Yeah,
like
untested first timers. It was like 9 o'clock until I think it was like 1 because it wasn't too busy, and then there was some carryover going into the naturals from the people that had done the first timers, and yeah, that was that. So it was the first time I think we had like 2 separate shows on the same day, but it just meant we kind of knew where Cathal needed to be peaked for, and even that week leading up to going on to the stage, we kind of planned around with, okay, he finishes post workout at 1:30, and he's actually one of the first classes on that starts at 1:30. So it worked perfectly. We structured things around that, and he was able to get a lot of benefit from that, seeing what brought his best look, and respondent wise, because it'd been quite a while since we had higher foods. If you followed along on Instagram, you'll have known that we made fuck all change to his foods for the first 14 weeks, and he just kept losing fat, losing fat, losing fat. So we went a while after 2 weeks of just keeping him nice and fresh, and then into no high days, and then we actually ran a low week the week before peak week, just to like push him that last little bit before we can load and see how his body responds going into it. And it was very simple. But if you're wanting to know about the peak week, you've got to follow along with the hub that'll be posted in the hub. We're doing an in-depth peak week and the approach of it and kind of how that can look like with manipulating things on the day. So watch out, guys. But it was a very stress-free peak. Like, we've had weekends where peaking clients has been a little bit more stressful, and it's made the peak a little bit harder for the individuals. However, this has been the easiest peak ever. Cathal does exactly what's been asked of him, and he doesn't like question it. Like, we'll be able to have a back and forth. If there's anything he's maybe like wanting to have a bit more clarification on, we can talk. And there's always like a reason behind why I'm doing the honey in his mouth like that. This was very important for the overall. Well, I figured, you know what, the closer I get down, the better the uptake of the carbs will be. So this is going to get covered in the hub video as well. But overall, like, yeah, pretty much.
Rationale here, Matt.
That was me 3 cans of Monster deep. I was fucked. I was gone. I think we were waiting for the overall at that point, and we were doing the bikini stuff, and I was like, right, I need to lie down here. I am so wrapped Cathal's like Pokemon blanket around me, and just put my head against the wall and just tried.
Oh,
to sleep
mate, we
for a
didn't
wee
even talk about. You get number 6'7". You get the funny number.
Yeah.
You get the funny.
It was meant to be.
So yeah, it was a good weekend. A lot of brain rot, a lot of Michael Jackson. It was.
I tell you what, he's done well to beat this guy.
Mate, he was very good. Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, he's only 18 or something. He's only 18. But yeah, he's a young guy.
I think
Yeah.
condition on this. That's one I put on my story.
Yeah, it's a good shot.
It was class.
With the
He seems like a really nice guy. When I've like chatted with him on Instagram, he seems like a good man.
He's so lovely. I actually love him. He's brilliant. Like I said to him when he came. I think we were. It was the first night we landed in at the Airbnb. I was like, I'm not gonna lie, mate. You probably won't remember much about the show, like the actual show itself, because it'll go by so quick. You'll be thinking about other things. I said to him, but we're going to make this weekend like so memorable for you. We're going to have like such a laugh. We're going to keep you stress free, and we're going to chill out. And that like first night, me, Noah, and Cathal like chatted for like 2 or 3 hours, didn't we? That night, and just chatting about life, getting to know him a little bit better because I'd never met him before. Like I'd spoken to him on posting calls, but that was the first time I'd actually met him in person.
Like when you think about that, you know, when Mikey won his overall when we were in.
WNBF.
When we were in Luton. Yeah, like you think about that like weekend where we stayed in that Airbnb. Like you remember that as much as you remember the show, don't you? Like chatting to him and getting to know him more, and like us getting food and him having his meal prep, and like you remember that kind of stuff more than you remember just the show.
And that night before the show, it was Shay and Seabaum came round. So there was like five of us just sitting there. We watched a little bit of Derry Girls. Then there was an ad break, and we were like, "Nope, fuck this.
Yeah.
We're going to go outside. You need to pose." And we just sat
The sun
outside
was setting
for a
as
couple
well.
of
It
hours
was
just
like
chilling
starting
out
to
and
go a little bit
laughing.
darker, but the sun was setting. It was a bit orange in the sky. We had like a patio table with 4 deck chairs outside, and Cathal was prepping his meals for the next day because we had stuff for the latter end of the day just in case he got into the overall like, plan out for all eventualities. So I had him prepping that stuff, and again, like we were all just sat. We had a good chat about anything, and it lead us into going away for the show itself, like hassle free. And it was really good to do that. And again, that's probably why he responded as well to the changes that we did make.
For sure. And which class? Because I don't even think you mentioned like class wise what he was in, and then overall wise, how did that go? What was your thoughts on like the look
Yeah,
area
so
versus
that was
overall as
junior
well?
bodybuilding, where he won his class. And then obviously 23. He turns 24 a couple days after the WMBF. So WMBF's his last chance to do juniors. But he looked good. He was looking sharp. It takes him a couple rounds to come to life. And you could see he was getting better as the posing went on. You could see his confidence was improving as he got a bit more time on the stage. And again, we spent a bit more time pumping up as well backstage. We knew the running order. Me and Matt were like staying on top of things to make sure, right, okay, the first show's finished. He's going to be one of the first classes out there. We need to make sure we've got enough time across that break to plan out when he starts, when he gets everything in. So that was all good. Went on stage, the leanest on there, which was always good. That's one thing. Like, I've not had an off season with Cathal. He started straight into a prep. So the one thing that I can control is again the tissue that he has when he's on stage in terms of retaining it and growing within the depths of a prep. But again, how lean he is, and he does need to get leaner. We know that, and going into the English shows where it will be a bit more competitive. That's the goal, to bring more condition. But the look was good in the first show, or the junior show. Then in the overall, physique was just a little bit more tired. Like, it's been a very long day.
He was
Yeah.
by the end of the day, like we were up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and it was just like on the go constantly. He was waiting about for ages and ages throughout the day, and then by the time it did get to the overall, he was just like, "I'm kind of done." You could tell he
Yeah.
didn't really want to do it. He was just like that exhausted. He got what he came for, but
And
it was really
the thing
pathetic
is
he couldn't
though,
do it, and
some of those
spent all
shots
the
in the
money to
overall
see
were
it.
fucking mint. Like, I was looking back at him and I was thinking at the time, I was like, yeah, he's next to Morgan. Morgan looked fucking mental. And there's some good athletes in that lineup, but mate, he looked good. He even got moved towards the centre next to Morgan and next to that other guy. So he probably would have came away from that overall with third, fourth maybe. If you're talking about a ranking of that overall. And considering like he drank a good bit more fluid than he had done, maybe a little bit too fast, and he was struggling with his vacuum work. So midsection might not have been as quite as tight, which we know is a strength for him. So again, it's just about having that experience and refining the peaks from here. He's got 2 more shows. And this one was just to get his confidence on stage, which he's now got that experience. And again, gathering a bit more, gathering data, bro, to know how to lead him into the next couple. So, no, it was a successful weekend for sure.
Sick.
How was the rest of the show? Notable people. I know obviously Morgan. We had just had a chat about him on the Once You're In Your In podcast, but like anyone else as well as Morgan, feel free to just chat
Leo.
about like the rest of the show.
The classic fella that I seen, the classic short,
Classic
like the
tall.
two guys that battled out.
So because it was such a small show, they just brought all the classic guys out at once. So it was Morgan, who was the only person in short, and then 2 guys in tall. The guy
Yeah.
in tall who won was unbelievable, like so good. He couldn't pose for shit, and he like, I don't know if it was conditioning, but like he didn't turn like
Yeah.
his quads on at all or his lower body, so you couldn't actually tell what his conditioning was like. But I remember seeing him pump up backstage, and I was like, you know that guy who turned up late at the PCA Naturals that Cameron did? He was like, it was that type of physique when he was pumping up backstage,
Yeah.
and I was like, it's done. Like, he is mental. But then when he actually got out there, like Morgan presented himself so well. He had some really good shots. Obviously, he was the only one in that classic lineup, but it was kind of like you were envisioning the overall, and you were seeing them go side by side. And yeah, Morgan looked phenomenal. But that classic guy was a standout. Like I hadn't heard of him before. Kind of completely came out of the woods. So he was very good. Other standouts, you had Leo Woods,
Yeah.
junior men's physique. Unbelievable.
Yes.
Probably the most conditioned guy in the whole show, both naturals and enhanced. In the first timers, yeah, looked absolutely insane. Like his frame isn't massive, but it's filled out. Like, and the way
I,
he,
I
Very
used
compact,
to
isn't he?
yeah,
I used to coach Leo, and he's always had like just a crazy, bubbly kind of physique. Even when I coached him back in the day,
Yeah.
the potential was there. Like he always has had just a nicely put together, compact kind of looking men's physique. Like he's meant to do men's physique.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a good lad as well.
I think he said he was like 3 kilos up from his last stage weight.
Sick.
Mad.
So
He posted some shots of him in Ultraflex, like I think it was like 5 days before, and I seen it. It's the first time I've seen him in quite some time, and I was just like, "Oh, what the fuck is that?" Yeah, I think I just commented, "Jesus!" Like I seen those, and I was like, "Fuck me, that's crazy." Like I was looking at them as I was walking out the gym, and like it was quite sunny, and I couldn't entirely see. And I was like, "Is
Yeah.
that his lat at the back?" Like, see, I was like, "Surely not." Like I couldn't really see my phone. I was like, "Ah, fucking hell!" Like it just sweeps out so much. So
Yeah, he's a big
yeah,
fucker.
Leo looked great.
he presents himself well.
And that's Morgan who won the
Yeah.
overall as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Morgan, really good lad. Like we didn't actually know that he was doing the show, so we were trying to get him on the Lifestyle Loops podcast, and we were trying to find out what shows he was doing, and then we were at the time.
He's Irish, right?
What is it?
He's Irish, right?
Yeah. We were at the tan, and I turned around and I saw a guy who looked like him. I was like, nah, it's not surely. But I had thought he might do the show because it lined up perfectly. So, but anyway, I realised it was actually him. And he had said he wanted to do this one because his dad wouldn't be able to see him compete at the other shows. So it was just a way for him to do like a home show, bit of a warm up, let his dad see him compete.
Nice.
And yeah, like he looked phenomenal. Like even though it's annoying for him that there was nobody there, like he was backstage and he found out he was the only one in his class, and he was like, "What do I do? Do I even bother pumping up? Like, am I just
Yeah.
wasting it ahead of the overall?" So he was like a bit like deflated before coming out on stage. And we were, because we know him, we were kind of like helping him out, like making sure he had the bands and everything, had his glaze, and we were just saying, look, just go out, enjoy that first round in your class, I suppose, and then just go for it in the overall. But yeah, he's a lovely guy, so I'm really pleased for him. But it's just a shame there wasn't more people there, because I think he probably still would have won the overall, but it would have been good just to see him against better physiques.
What other shows is he doing?
I don't know if
Yeah.
he's announcing them, but I know them, and I don't know if I can say.
Yeah, fine.
He looks really good to be
He's
fair.
got a good season, and he's doing a couple of international shows too.
That's a crazy frame, like that most muscular there. Just that width
Yeah.
across his top line. Ugh, it's crazy.
I think he might be moving to bodybuilding as well for some of the shows.
I could see that happening.
I think he's just got a very aesthetic, open bodybuilder physique.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Honestly, I
probably.
don't know if his legs need more condition, but I more so think it's posing. It looks as if his hips are a little bit far forward sometimes.
He looks like still looks sharp.
Yeah, his upper body looks like super sharp.
Mhm.
It's just sometimes his quads don't look as if they're like foot, or more so you just see like the inside of his adductors. But then on like that check-in shot, they look fucking skinned.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He does have more to come off, like a good bit more, especially from like glutes and hamstrings. Like I think there might have been a few rear shots that PCA posted.
It's on the side shots you can see he's got nice kind of glute detail. Looks pretty satisfying. Yeah, like on that side
Yeah.
shot there.
Yeah.
But then there, you're like, okay, there's more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he did post. There was a wee check-in shot that he posted somewhere in there. It was a back double bicep, and you could see it more. So I think it also was posing and just being a little bit sharper, being a little bit sharper for the later shows. But this is an earlier show for him, isn't it? So you're not expected to be 100%, and even not at 100%, he's won the overall. So should be a good season for him
Indeed.
for
Sure,
sure.
I'm surely going to be against him. at some point. I'm surely going to be against him at some point.
Who's going to be against him?
Me.
Oh, you're going to be against him. Sick.
I beat him at the WMBF in 2023, but obviously he's a lot better now. But
I didn't even know he'd competed before.
Yeah, he's competed quite a lot.
Yeah,
So he did the
did
Worlds,
last year.
INBA Worlds in like June, and then immediately signed up with Adam, and then went into an off season, and then he's just grown massively. He was always big. Like he competed against Cameron Balmer at NBFI, or no, it was either NBFI or WNBF a couple of years ago, and he was massive back then, but he was just so soft. And then for that WNBF show, he did come in a lot sharper. The one he competed against you, but it's still more there. So I think he did all that.
Brought his best, has he? Like, whereas now he's looking really good.
Yeah, he was self-coached, and now he signed up with Adam, and yeah, made some really, really good improvements. I'm trying to think of other physiques. I think for the men's are probably working a huge amount more just because it was like a little bit quieter. The females, the bikini winner was really, really good. So she did the first timers.
Did both of the females not have two swords by the end of it?
Natural show. Yeah, so the figure winner Hetty, she was the only person in her class in the naturals, and she was the only figure class as well. So she went into the figure overall as the only person,
That's mad.
which is difficult. So like you can't read much into the whole show, but I mean she's got two swords. Fair play to her. She looked really, really good. Once again, it's just a shame she was the only one.
Wielding swords in one day is crazy work.
Yeah, that's her.
Sure it is. And then Leo, so it was Morgan, Leo, there is, yeah.
Megan and Hesse.
And then they're going to do a second PC in Naturals Ireland. And
Yeah,
that's
September 20th, I think.
We do them for the year. Yeah. Is that the weekend where there's like multiple Irish shows?
Yep.
Yeah.
Classes with MBFI. So
What one will you go to, Matt?
I would do MBFI if I was doing shows at that time.
Oh, shit, I forget that you're competing.
Yeah, so
I'm just wondering, like, what one would you go to? But you'd actually be competing at one of them, probably.
should we discuss that? You've started your prep.
I haven't.
Oh, you put
I
that.
start next week, but we're always prepping, mate. We're always prepping. So
That's it, mate. That's the mindset.
Yeah, it's
I
just
just posted some shots because it was like, okay, it's basically prep now anyway. But yeah, essentially last week of the off season now, start prep on Monday, hoping to be pretty aggressive straight off the bat, like just get as much off as possible. 18 weeks out from the first planned show, but I'm starting to think, maybe there might be another one that kind of lines up before that I could do. It's just whether I'm ready and whether it's actually worthwhile doing it. If I've got a lot of clients competing around that time, it probably maybe isn't the best of ideas, but yeah, prep starts Monday, so should be really good. Very excited for it.
Sick.
Yeah, it'll be good, man.
Finn, you're what, 2.5 weeks out?
I am indeed, mate.
Excited?
No.
No. I hate this shit.
No, it's weird. Like, I mean, I'm not that bothered about competing. Like, and I'm not just saying that. Like, I'm not. Like, I'm more bothered about my training being good. So when my training isn't good, I just get annoyed. So like middle of last week, this time last week when we did the podcast, I was a bit fucked, to be honest. Like, I feel way better now because I had the weekend. I had Saturday as a high day and the output, and Sunday as a the output. But it took those 2 days to like pull me out of the hole that I was in. Like, I wasn't myself, which is normal. Like, when you're getting lean at the end of a prep, it's normal. But like during that time where my training was a bit shit, all I'm thinking is this isn't worth it.
Yeah.
Like, because for me, like, especially with my previous prep, I don't want that happening again. You know what I mean? Where I'm eating away at muscle, like, and I was literally having, like, me and Megan had a chat about it, and it was like, where's that line? You know what I mean? There's a balance where it's like you have to be accepting that you're not growing at the end of a prep naturally, you're just not. But where's the line of acceptance of maybe losing tissue, or how long spent not gaining new tissue that's worth it for you? And for me, that is the goal and the aspect of competing doesn't massively outweigh that goal of just wanting to be bigger and grow more.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. But
Have you? I mean, you don't need to discuss on the podcast, but do you think maybe then you'll do less shows? Or do you think you'll continue to see it through, or more so just play it by ear?
nothing changes, mate. I've still got the same plans and everything. Like I'm not saying like, oh, I'm not doing it. Like I'm not in that headspace at all. I just
More
think,
so just like spending longer at that condition. Like for sure you'll be fine for 2.5 weeks and still enjoying it, but if you find that that's happening, because obviously to get into even better condition, you're going to need to push a little bit more at times and this and that. Like as
yeah,
you say, it's trying to find the middle ground of
peaks and
enjoying
troughs
it.
as well, isn't it? Like when you
Yeah,
look a bit flatter and you've had like maybe like a week or so. I think it was like 2.5 weeks where I'd not ran a high day. 2.5 weeks of pretty much like 15k steps, and it's like just feeling it a little bit. But like I then had one high day and like I say the output, and it was like, oh, I'm not dead. I was just buried a bit. I was in a bit of a hole. But also my bit of a hole, it's hard to really judge it because how much I fucked myself up last time. I'm thinking, well, this is nowhere near as bad, so I'm fine. But for most people, this is, oh my god, I'm ruined. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like just trying to weigh that up. But I know I can still be leaner. But I also, my goal isn't just be the leanest on stage like it was last time. Like my goal is like actually be happy with how I look. And for me, a fuller, fresher look, I'm happier with that anyway. My condition will get better show to show because I've got the time to improve show to show as well, which is cool. But yeah, I'm definitely not in that headspace of like, some people like competing's so important to them and it's like such a big thing. Like for me, the competitive part is such a small aspect. Like I enjoy training and growing and seeing my physique improve more than I enjoy stepping on stage.
sure.
But maybe that's just based on previous experience. Maybe that'll change this
Yeah.
year. You don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it excites me to compete, and that's why I therefore enjoy, like, within the back end of a prep, because realistically, you don't feel amazing at the back end of a prep. So if, like, I'm only thinking about training, then it makes me get a little bit upset or a bit down. And it's, again, trying to find a middle ground of, like, not just only thinking about competing or not just only thinking about the other ends. It's trying to find that middle ground in a sense. But, yeah, everyone's different, aren't they? But
Yeah.
for
As well, like
you,
focusing on training is a positive. Like that's one thing that has helped me hold on to as much muscle as possible is that I have really focused on my training and my sleep being the priority rather than chasing condition. I would rather my training and my sleep be really good and be a little bit out of condition on stage, like legit. Yeah, I mean, I'm not getting up earlier to do more steps or more cardio, like because my sleep is more important. Simple as that. You know what I mean? I'll still get everything done, but like I'm not going to be like, right, I need to wake up earlier to do cardio or to do steps. It's like, no, I'll get them done throughout the rest of the day. And luckily, I've got my life set up where I can do that. But my training is always my priority. I'm not doing loads of steps before I train or cardio before I train because I don't want it to impact my training. Like last week, I did like 12k steps before I trained push because I knew I'd have 2 podcasts and not have time to do the steps. And my session was nowhere near as good. This week, I did like 6k steps before I trained. The session was way better. It's like, that's more important to me. And that's going to bring a better look anyway.
Meg says you're still snoring horrendously. I messaged her. Because she was like, I feel tired this morning. And I was like, what was that Finn snoring again? I was like, maybe he's lost like 10, 15 kg, so he's going to stop snoring. But
Hey, we don't even. She's been sleeping in a different room, not because I'm snoring, just because her sleep is shit. And like, if I move at all, she'll wake up. I probably am still snoring. To be fair,
you need to like triple up.
I'm still really fat. I'm still
Yeah.
fat. Just like the photos, I'd literally just keep editing them and just.
I mean, you're still pretty heavy, to be fair. Still what,
Yeah.
like 79 kg or so?
That's the goal. I'm trying to in my head. I'm like, stay as close to 80 kg as you can. My goal isn't get like new lows. And Tim's like, oh, we should see a new low, and I'm like, I fucking don't want to. Like, I honestly, I don't want to see a new low. I want to stay heavy. Like, I want to stay heavier and get leaner. Like, that's my goal. And like, that's my whole goal throughout the prep is like growing to the show. Obviously, I'm not growing at this point, but like trying to just make sure my training is really fucking good, and it still is, to be fair. Like I say, last week I noticed I was like dropping off a tiny bit, but again, dropping off is like I lost a rep on the Smith. That's it. Still doing 3 plates. Like or like I'm doing 2 sets of 180 on the stiff leg instead of 200 and 180 just to be a bit more safe. You know what I mean? I'm not fully dropped off a cliff.
Yeah. Do you know what your peak week will look like roughly? I know it's obviously impossible to say beforehand. Have you guys spoke about it or
No, honestly,
after
mate, like
into it?
no, I'll just leave it with Tim. Like my stress is very, very low. I've got my own clients to focus on. Like I'll let him just do whatever's needed. I still need to be leaner. I imagine the first show will just be like a backload, like run a couple of high days, and then as I get a bit leaner and I'm like pretty much all the way in, then we'll probably run like linear loads into the later shows, which works nicely when you've got I've got, I think it's like 3 weeks, then 5, then 7, then 8, and then I'm going to wrap it up.
Sick. Sick. Anyone else? Anything interesting updates wise on prep? Noah, you seem to be getting a good
Mate,
trainer.
I forget I'm in prep, mate. I
Sure.
just fucking crack on. It's just, it's nothing's changed. Like,
He had a big popcorn chicken.
yeah, I was setting off plan.
He was on the
Yeah,
popcorn chicken.
it's just ticking, like doing the same thing over and over again, ticking those damn boxes. But it doesn't feel like prep. Like it's fucking piss easy. I keep lagging on my screen. I can't fucking take myself serious here. But
I don't know.
am I lagging on yours?
I don't know if it will show up on the podcast or not.
Yeah.
You do look a little bit laggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we
Yeah.
can hear you. So
Prep's fine.
There, so.
There you go. There's nothing to really say. There's nothing to really say.
Easy days.
yeah, we ran 2 high days. His weight dropped quite a lot, based on being forced into a deload based on the tooth issue that he had that we spoke about before. Spoke about that last week. So we ran 2 high days this weekend because I knew you're obviously going to be busier with obviously being with the boys and peaking Cathal and stuff. I knew you were going to be busier. So the high days were kind of just to make sure weight didn't drop anymore, which that worked, and the look is really good actually. Post workout look today was really good, mate.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're in a good spot. Like more than happy with where you're at, and it's just a case of like making sure that rate of loss was too quick initially, to be honest. So we've slowed it down nicely now.
19 weeks out. I think the shows get put up for registration on Friday. So when payday comes in, we'll be booking the shows for Korea. That's the plan.
Wicked. An exciting season. I'm excited to possibly line up Japan. We need to see obviously with the WNBF and the dates and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
sick.
indeed. Yourself?
Be very good.
And
Just-
how are you, Josh? You gonna give us an illness update?
Yeah, not great to be fair, but still alive and kicking, so it's all that matters. I yesterday when I went to train, I was like, I don't feel great. Even when I woke up in the morning, I cracked on with my initial work. I usually work from like 5:30 to 8, and then I'll eat my first meal there. Done that work, ate, and then went for a walk. And I was like, right, maybe I'll kind of wake up a little bit by going for a walk. And went for that walk, came back, sat on the wee chair in my garden, and just closed my eyes and woke up half an hour later. I was like, what the fuck? Just like spawned back in again. So fell asleep in my garden at 10:30. This isn't great. I never do that. Like I felt really, really tired. Messaged Finn and let him know I was like, I don't feel the best. So ended up taking away a set of pendulum, took away a set of hip thrust, and took away a set of the seated hamstring curls. Still had a really good session, had green boxes all round, progressed all of them, but like just pulled down a little bit on the intensity. Like I didn't go for any daft reps, and then pulled away some sets. Went to go to bed last night and I was like, fuck, I feel even worse. And I was like, there's a good chance that I wake up feeling horrendous tomorrow. So instead of setting my 5:30 alarm, I just didn't set an alarm. So went to bed at 9:30 and then woke up at 9 a.m. So I slept for 11 and a half hours, which is wild. I never really do that. And I usually don't have too much bother getting up at 5:30. So I was like, yeah, something's definitely wrong. And my throat was killing me. And I was like, I'm fucked here. So I messaged Finn and I was like, I'm probably still going to go in and train push later, but just take it a little bit easier. Then you were like, don't be stupid. Ended up taking, or planning to now take 2 rest days today and tomorrow. It's not anywhere near as bad just now, but my throat's just very, very dry. Like, energy's still pretty damn low. And just being sensible with it. Like, I'm kind of on the line. I'm not absolutely cooked, but I'm also not fresh. So it's like
One of those where if you do keep training, you will just get more and more ill. Like you can tell. Like, you don't message me unless you're actually ill. You know what I mean? Like, you have some people who might message you every time there's any kind of sign, and they just want time off. But you're the opposite. You love training, so like you're almost like
That's the
you're
problem. Like you
pressure
message
so
me.
in. And like,
Yeah.
no, you shouldn't. Like 2 days off, I reckon you'll be fine. Like, I reckon that'll do you good, and you should be good to get back in back end of the week.
That's the hard part because everything's progressing so well right now, and I'm like, fuck. I don't want to stop training, and like but I know if I go in, I'm still going to be in that mindset of everything's moving so well. Let's fucking go, and I end up just fucking myself up. So, I'm just being sensible with it. Enjoy the nice weather, chill out in the back garden a little bit, do some work out there, and just hopefully kind of rest up a little bit. I've been having a gram of vitamin C with all my meals. I've had 2 servings of glutathione max. They might even do a third. And just doing everything that I can to kind of try and avoid the illness getting worse. To be fair,
Yeah, do a third before bed.
yeah, I might as well.
And then client shows coming up. What we got?
Naturals too, being the big one, eh?
Yeah, we got myself, Charlie Bentley.
Yep. Lewis Hackney, Harry Brown.
Yeah,
Nah, I'm not getting
No,
on
no.
in that one. Cathal was going to do that. No.
I believe Cathal's doing it.
is he?
Fair dues.
And then
So
after that, it's like
Number
UK
five.
FBA and
Okay,
DFBA and
Yeah.
WNBF first timers. There's quite a few coming up now. Season.
Yeah, there's a good run going. I'm excited for those shows. Like those shows were good last year, especially the WNBF. I feel like that's always, I don't know, for me, just quite an exciting show with all of us, and we get on with the WNBF well, and it's quite exciting to be there.
Crazy how quick it's come around. Like the show season's already like properly started now, really, and shows every weekend already.
Yeah, a year since you bought the gaff as well.
Yeah,
Not since you bought it, since you moved in.
yeah. A year since I moved in. A year since the gym opened.
That weekend.
Yeah. A year
Crazy.
since we met Naveed.
Oh, good times.
Yeah.
Good times, Naveed fitting the TV. A year since your sister's husband was singing in the restaurant,
Yeah.
giving it loudly.
So many memories, so many year anniversaries this past weekend and past week.
Yeah, it's crazy. The physique club, what is going to be? Is it like a 3-day pass or something for?
Yeah, we've got quite a lot planned. Fair play. Like I obviously said, like right, look, we need to do an open day, and then Sanaya's like ran with it and sorted loads of stuff out. I sorted out like supplement sponsors for the day. We've got 2 different supplement companies come in. Dominate Nutrition in the morning. We've got Dark Stims coming in the like late morning, afternoon, I think. We've got deadlift challenges, pull-up challenges. The deadlift challenge is sponsored by Heavy Duty Gymwear. We've got Pit Stop sending samples, Nays sending samples. Shout out to our sponsors, so thank you for that. We've got Conte sending samples. We've got HR Labs sending samples. We've got giveaways. We've got cookies. We've got
You eat the cookies. Matt's head.
loads.
Matt's head just turns as soon as you say cookies.
So yeah, we've got a lot on. So if you are watching this, listening to this, if you're free at all on Saturday, come down to the Physique Club in Loughborough for the free open day, 3-day pass all day, 8 till 4, or 8 till 6 actually, sorry. And first 50 people get a free goodie bag,
Sick.
which will have a lot of those things I've just mentioned in.
Very nice. What do you think you could get in the pull-up challenge?
Body weight, I do pull-ups on my upper session at the start, but I do them weighted. I'll probably get 15 to 20 body weight. I wouldn't be getting loads.
Are you gonna
Mate.
Are you gonna be? That's it. Are you gonna be strict with like the form? Like you can't have any like butterfly like. Sort of
I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be authorised any of this, mate. I'm not. I'm just going to be there for vibes.
Fair dues.
I'll let the boys man the stations and stuff.
And there was one in Muscle Hut that they done. One of the guys got like 32 reps, but he was just like swinging through the whole thing. I was like, 32 is still very impressive. I done it and I got 18, I think. But it's actually really, really hard to do pull-ups with like no control when you're used to doing them with control. I feel like you'd struggle. Because we're used to doing them like and actually getting a good feel through them. See, when I started trying to do them quick, I looked like a fucking idiot. Like I was like bouncing about all over the place. It was terrible.
Swing
I was like,
around.
I look like I've never done a pull-up before. So that is difficult. No, I'd done one at the Arnold's, like a wee weighted one. I think that was like a 15,
Yeah.
10, 15 kg maybe.
11.
Got that for
Actually, I missed that in the 12. Missed out in the 12.
the army.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Aye, so the army guys start watching and Noah stood there for like a 15-second concentric, giving it everything. I was like, I just give him the rep, mate. Give him the rep. And that was the thing with the muscle up one. So like the guy was swinging and he was getting loads of reps, and I spent 10 seconds grinding a rep very cleanly. Got my chin over, and he was like, "No, it doesn't count." Fuck off. Who's the other one counting? I'm not happy. So I didn't win my wee tub of pre-workout or whatever it was.
Yeah. It should be good though. It should be a good day. We've got a lot planned.
I think the weather's still be good as well.
Huh?
I'm saying weather. I think it will still be good, so vibes should be pretty high.
Yeah, I'm hoping the weather stays good.
That has been nice over the past week. Like I've really enjoyed that. It makes such a big difference to like your mood and like work
Crazy,
even in
innit?
general.
Everything's just so much better.
Yeah. Matt, are you still just gonna move to Spain? Just gonna full send that?
I'm gonna want to like actually looking into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
So yeah, gonna see what I can do. Kind of
That'd
just
be
fell off here to be honest. It's just boring. I
Yeah.
don't like it.
Imagine you could have this sun and this weather for like majority of the year.
Yeah.
Or like because we will literally Scotland will get it for 1 or 2 weeks. And that's it at most. Imagine you could have it for at least even if it's like 6 months or something.
It's just like how good you feel when the sun's out. Imagine having that every day.
Yeah. But it's just business wise as well and having shows and stuff and I mean you can still do it like your business is literally online based, but it is nice
I
to
have to
have
fly to go to shows anyway, so it's like
yeah,
what's
just a
an extra
longer
couple of
flight
hours?
in.
It's just like an
So
extra hour and a half maybe. Extra
I
yeah,
guess so.
3 hours.
When you work online, like it's amazing that you can go anywhere. Like obviously I could before the gym, which is like obviously it's nice having a premises and stuff, but like for all you boys, like realistically, you should travel as much as you can.
Yeah.
But
We
I make the most of
Edinburgh.
it.
Definitely just don't go to Thailand though because it stinks of shite.
Yeah, don't go to Thailand.
Mm-mm.
Go India instead.
Yeah. I'd like to
Oh, he'd like to.
sorry, I was saying I'd like to yeah, I'd like to then just nothing. I'd like to go to
Thailand.
Japan and then do like Vietnam and do like a lot of kind of like Asian countries at that side of the world just
Yeah. I
interests me
think
massive.
after this
I
season,
think
I'm
that
gonna actually travel.
go for it.
I obviously I enjoy doing my traveling as it is, but after this prep's done, I think I was saying this.
Yeah. I'd like to do like
Yeah,
Korea, New Zealand.
yeah. I was saying I'm not actually too arsed about how long I stay in Japan for. Like I've been chased. Am I just cutting out? Oh fuck this, man! I'm gonna leave the
Pausing.
call.
So it's weird. It's like it's working, but it's not.
It's working, but it's not.
Oh,
He's gone, he's bottled it. I was saying Japan and like Vietnam and then like going through all those countries, like I'd really like to do them, that's like immediate. And then like Australia and New Zealand and shit. And then also like a wee America trip. I watched a video of like a group of boys. They went in like a wee camper van and just done like all the national parks and stuff. I think that looks brilliant
Yeah.
until you get shot.
We ought to do something us four, like do like a I don't know, like
That'd
a,
be
like a
brilliant.
2 week trip or something. Visit some gyms, get some content, have some like just good vibes. That'd be sick.
Yeah,
Magaluf.
when we
Yeah, 2 weeks in Magaluf. We're travelling.
yeah, that's it. When we done the whole Bosnia and like different trip, he's back. Like, he's thingied straight away. He's froze straight away. Aye, when we done that whole trip, like myself, Noah, and Brandon, like that was class. And if we could do like bigger ones, then that'd be really cool. Like further away, I think it'd be sick.
Yeah,
if we can tie it into like a bodybuilding show.
yeah.
Make
We
some
should.
excuse for it to be a business expense. Fuck it,
Yeah.
easy. Well, wrap it up.
Yeah.
Be 45 minutes. Perfect. Thank you all for watching. As always, really appreciate it. If you can like and subscribe, that'd be massively appreciated. If you're on Spotify, 5 stars, give it a 5 stars. I don't know if we've got any less than 5. If there is, I'll kill them. Turn on notifications, all that shit. And also, if you can, share on your story. It is greatly appreciated. But yeah, that's all. Thank you all for watching and see you in the next one. See ya.